hallucinogenic drugs, as well as brain implants.
As well as brain implants. That's the chip. Either the right hand or the forehead.
They tested hundreds and hundreds of different biological substances such as anthrax and chemical substances such as nerve gas, psychochemicals, a whole variety of psychochemicals, said Palmer. They did this all in total secrecy for a period of over 20 years. Now that's that scripture, again, Psalm 64. They accomplish a diligent search. They do it in secrecy. They say, who shall see us? So that's these devils, man. Palmer explained his clients are unable to receive monetary policy because they were voluntary military members at the time of testing. Under the law, veterans cannot seek financial damages against the government under the Ferrers Doctrine, which was established in 1950 by the U.S. Supreme Court. The suit is seeking, however, to bring attention to the fact military veterans cannot seek damages from the government, and is also seeking a recognition by the U.S. Army that under their own regulation they must provide medical care and disclose what exactly they were subjected to. It is also a hope the court will release the veterans from their secrecy oath regarding what they endured. However, the case has been a challenging one. There has been a total lack of cooperation from the CIA, he said. The rest of the defendants are not much better. The Army and the Department of Defense have been resisting discover at every moment as well. That's pretty much it. That's it.
Yeah, because that's the New World, basically the pinnacle of the New World Order plan is to chip everybody. Like Aaron Russo said, that Nick Rockefeller told him. He said the plan is to chip everybody. But now we're going into the aspects of what the chip is really about. It's really about mind control. They're trying to make the masses of this planet zombies. I mean, robot slaves. You know?
Movie Equilibrium and other different movies. Now in the movie Equilibrium, every day they would have like interval dosages of stuff that they would have to inject into themselves, and that drug that they would inject into themselves basically would keep them under the spell of that whole of the elites of that society. So that's basically what this chip is all about. It's about putting that into you so you can be an eternal slave, and you can be devoted, and you can be a follower and a zombie of the New World Order and the as they call it, oligarchy, which is the rule of a few, over the masses of the people. You have something?
Because Esau basically he's gotten the whole human genome mapped out. He's got the brain especially mapped out. Now, when you look into neuroscience, you have different lobes of the brain. You have the frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, the occipital lobe, the temporalis or the temporal lobe. Now on the frontal lobe, that does like your emotions, your memory, your speech, your motivation. So if they can control that, if they can put that chip right there into your frontal lobe, they can send frequencies or whatever they need to dictate how you move around, man. Control you,
You have this movie now with Johnny Depp, which Johnny Depp is a demon. It's called Transcendence. And in that movie Transcendence, it's all about, there's a term, I can't think of it right now, but they basically, what they did was they were taking a human, they were taking people that were all jacked up and messed up and making them into superhumans, so to speak. There's a term, but I can't think of it right now. So basically that's what they're trying to do. They're really trying to take the masses of people and turn them into robots by any means necessary. Stem cell research. So that's why they take people and they cut them up and they study the biology of the person, their brain, their eyes, their their lungs, everything, so that they can pretty much control people.
I got an article Elder Gabar had brought about a week or so ago. I printed out and brought it with me about enslavement of the human race with the microchip technology, right? paragraph, what the title of this paragraph says, more microchipping of humans. And it says, according to Dr. Kyle, brain functions can also be remotely monitored by supercomputers and even altered through the changing of frequencies.
Okay, you go ahead. Go ahead.
There was a quick point. There was a game that came out, and it's called PsyOps. And it was, back in the world I used to play it. And it was going into mind control, MK Ultra. And even in the game, there was a, like on the home, menu, the main menu, you could actually watch videos of how they actually researched before they made the game. And it was some true, facts that came out, top secret information about how they were actually practicing telekinesis, things like that. So it's actually stuff they practice in the military. But in the game, you had what they call meat puppets. So those are actually meat puppets. So those are.
Get used to me saying that because I'm planning on using that a lot, especially today. I'm gonna call them meat puppets.
And well, that's Baloo. Baloo is the first meat. Baloo
Yeah. Kind and so those are actually soldiers that they had that used to they could control their mind and get them to do whatever they want to. They can run and then they'll make the men explode. They're just meat puppets.
Yeah. Just to back you up. This is Isaiah 47:10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. And I'm just going to skip down to 12. This is Isaiah 47, verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitudes of thy sorceries wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail.
That's right. Now the brother looked up the word. He mentioned the word enchantments in the verse 12. I just wanted to take a quick look at that because that's what they do. See, they enchant the people. They put spells on these people. These people are in a spell. And how do they do that? How did they accomplish that? Through the media, through the news, through the television, through music, through poetry, through whatever means that they have, that through schools, because what they're doing is they're basically programming the people's minds. So every time you speak about stuff like this, what's the first thing they'll say? Oh, you're a conspiracy nut. Why? Is it because it's something that they researched? No, it's because something they heard on television. Just like when they call somebody a terrorist. They call somebody a terrorist. Why? Because there's something they heard on television, or they seen in a magazine, or they seen in a newspaper somewhere. So now the word enchantment, bear with me 1 second here. Enchantments is from the word chabar, and it means association, company, band, shared, association, society, a magician, charmer, spell. So it's a spell that these meat puppets have on them.
I got the definition too. This is from the Urban Dictionary. It says meat puppet, person or persons that have no will of their own.
Sounds like some people I know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're gonna try to flip it. They're gonna say that about us. Persons that have no will of their own. Somebody that lets others control them. All right. But I had a scripture, right, for this is the book of Ezekiel 28 and 6, because basically Esau is trying to be the Most High. That's why he's doing all that bullshit. It says, therefore thus saith the Lord power, because thou hast set thine heart, or hast set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. Right? Let me go down to the 8th verse. It says, they shall bring thee down to the pit, beginning with the elites, because it tells us in the book of Isaiah 24, the elites are going to be our first crop of slaves, and they're going to be thrown in a pit. It tells you that in Isaiah the 24th chapter. So backing that up in Isaiah the 24th chapter is Ezekiel 28:8. It says, they shall bring thee down down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Wilt thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am a God? But thou shalt be a man and no God in the hand of him that slayeth thee, which that's the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahshai, which he's going to use